Hello again everyone, Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. Want to bring you a video. This is the PTR and this is the Vengeance Demon Hunter. As you can see, I've updated the UI because you're able to do that on the PTR, which is always nice. I haven't got it the way I really want it, but that's going to take some time and I'll really get working into it. I'm actually going to shift this over and move this over and get rid of these. But anyway, not the point. I'll eventually have it the way I like. Anyway, moving into Vengeance Demon Hunter. How are the talents looking now that it has come and we now know what it's going to look like? We now know how it's going to play. I don't know for sure the damage and I don't know for sure the tuning, but we do know that there are some nice things you can get as Vengeance. There's also Havoc, but this is going to be more of a Vengeance one. So I've gone through what I like. You know, you can get Vengeful Retreat, which is kind of cool. Having an extra, you know, flip away so you can, you know, flip and then Infernal Strike somewhere. Yeah, Sigil of Flame is there. I don't know if this is going to be tuned good enough to use right now in Season 4. It's absolute trash. You barely ever put this down. I took Imprison, mainly because there's always something in Mythic Plus that needs imprisoning. You could go for Increase Your Max Fury instead, but this does... this is the reason I just took it. You could just do this, put 1 point into here. It really doesn't matter. You will want the healing from Shattered Souls increased by 10%. That is phenomenal. Consume Magic has very specific uses in Mythic Plus. Some of them are phenomenal, so there will be a lot of time where you will want to take this, which also then gives you access to increase a critical strike chance of Immolation Aura. So it's kind of a combo point to get into this. You heal for 5% of all the fire damage you deal. This is going to be an amazing talent for Vengeance Demon Hunter. Getting into Spectral, this is an absolute trash. I really don't care for this, but this gets you into increased maximum health by 4%. So that is always phenomenal. You could, however, go down the other side and master increase your movement speed. It really doesn't matter. And Throwglaive has 2 charges and snares all enemies. You could do that, but I don't know. It's not really something I needed yet, but depending on how much Fury you're being starved, I don't know if we're going to need another Fury boost, so it might be better to go to Disrupting Fury and drop the 4% max health. But anyway, meta is now a 4-minute cooldown baseline, so you take this to bring it back to 3. Leech, well, you have meta and leech regularly is just phenomenal. Immolation increases your armor by 20% and causes melee attackers to suffer fire damage, which is great because fire damage heals you. And I took Sigil Silence and Sigil Misery because they're useful. They're very useful in Mythic Plus. You also have a stun with Chaos Nova, so that will be amazing. You could go the other way and each enemy stunned by Chaos Nova has a 30% chance to generate a lesser soul fragment, which would be very good too. Chaos Nova is a 1-minute cooldown currently. And there's no real way to drop the cooldown significantly, so it is a 1-minute cooldown. Collective Anguish would have been great. Fell Devastation summons an allied Havoc Demon Hunter who casts I-Beam. That would have been phenomenal for some DPS. However, to get there, you would really have to obliterate everything on the right side. So you could lose this. You could lose this. Okay, I need that to get even down here. You'd be taking Darkness. I actually don't know if you can actually get down there with taking the Hunt. Although you do get 5 more points. So yeah. So you'd have to have more points in the baseline to even get there, or give up the 30% damage. So you could do something like that as well. Which, depending on if we get more points on Vengeance, I know you get 5 more points on the actual tree over here, but I don't know if you get any more on this side. So if you do, you could play something like that and then get your increased damage over time by the Hunt on this side, but still having access to the Hunt is very great. And then I would take the reduced Darkness by 2 minutes, because having Darkness on a 1-minute CD is just going to be awesome. So that's another thing you can do. The other options, or the other side, I went with Vengeance Demon Hunter. And that is Basically, Fell Devastation, Frailty, Frailty, something like that. So this is great. Enemies struck by Sigil Flame are affected with Frailty. And you heal for 8% of all damage you deal to targets with Frailty. So there's going to be different ways to apply this. That might be the only reason to apply Sigil of Flame, but the other reasons will be Spirit Bomb later on. So Fiery Brands, I took Abysmal Haste, reduce the cooldown of Infernal Strike, so it just gives you more leaps, just so I could get to, while Demon Spikes is active, melee attacks against you cause the attacker to take physical damage, generating threat. Very, very great, giving you some more damage and giving you a little more threat as a DH. You take 6% reduced magic damage while Immolation Aura is active. Amazing. And then Burning Blood, so fire damage increased by 5%. Remember, this heals you every time too. There were some other neat ones, but I just didn't have enough points to get there. So I went down the middle as well because I wanted Demon Spikes. Also increase your parry by 15% for 8 seconds. Fell Devastation heals you for up to 30% more based on your missing health. To another Demon Spike talent, increase the duration of Demon Spikes by 2 seconds. And Fell Devastation heals you for an additional 10%, and 50% of its healing is converted into an absorbed shield for 10 seconds. So, getting a lot of Fell Devastation healing, getting a lot of Demon Spike buffs. Moving on, reduce the cooldown of Throglaive, don't care. You take 10% reduced damage after Demon Spikes ends. Fading 1% per second. So you have an extra, I would call it really 5 seconds of really great timing. So you take 10, 9, 8 to 5. And then after 5 seconds, it's kind of diminished, really doesn't do much. Like having a 2% reduction in damage, and like it's kind of minimal. Really doesn't matter. It's kind of trash at that point. But the 10% after for 10 seconds is really good. So it actually, you know, I would say for 5 seconds after it ends, you still have pretty good damage reduction. Again, you take Fracture just to fracture and shatter 2 lesser soul fragments. Agonizing Flame, this was a go-to. Immolation Aura increases your movement speed, don't care, but its duration is increased by 25% is what you want, because while Immolation Aura is up, you take 6% reduced magic damage. Here's the other one. I went with the Spirit Bomb build. I think this will just be great play. It would be what we're playing now. Because you have Spirit Bomb, you go to Void Reaver, Frailty. Now also reduces all damage you take from affected targets. Now you have a 4% damage reduction on this. Enemies struck with Soul Cleave are affected with Frailty, so your Soul Cleave is now adding to it. Coming down here a little farther. Consuming Soul Fragments reduces all damage you take by 2% for 4 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. So, when you consume with Spirit Bomb 5 Soul Fragments, you have a 10% DR for 4 seconds. That also stacks with adding Frailty to them. So after that, they automatically are doing 8%. So this is going to just be a massive, massive DR with Shadow or Spirit Bomb. Moving down, when consuming a Soul Fragment, you would heal above full health. That shields you instead for a maximum of 15. So you should have a huge 15k shield on for a lot of the fight that you are doing AoE. Frailty now increases all damage you deal to affected targets by 8%. So not only are they doing reduced damage to you by like 18%, they're now going to take 8% more. And the bottom, multiple applications may overlap. Soul Cleaves applies Frailty to your primary target for 5 seconds. There was a Soul Bomb or Spirit Bomb one too. Did I miss that? Now increase all damage, or did they change that? You consume a Soul Fragment. Yeah, there was a Spirit Bomb application of it. Oh, there it is. Sorry, it was this one. I missed it. It was just in the Spirit Bomb one. And afflicting them with Frailty for 5 seconds, causing you to heal for 8% of the damage you deal to them. Okay, so it is right here in the Spirit Bomb itself. So we have multiple ways to activate Frailty. from Soul Cleave, Spirit Bomb, Sigil Flame, all will do it. And then I went this way to start. Remember, you get 5 more points here. So I will have Fell Devastation damage increased by 40%. Then I'll have Feed the Demon for 2. Consuming a Soul Fragment reduces the remaining cooldown of Demon Spikes by 0.25%. So I should have Demon Spikes up a lot of the time. Then that's my third one will be Last Resort, because Last Resort's just so good. And then I will have Elysian Decree for 4. And I'm in between Soul carve into your soul of the next target, dealing 10k damage, and additional 4k over 3 seconds. Immediately shatters 2 lesser soul fragments from the target and 1 additional lesser soul fragment every second. I'm in between this or Dark Lair Boon, because they changed the way Dark Lair Boon works, so I'm not hugely excited for it. When Fell Devastation finishes fully channeling, it refreshes 10 to 20% of its cooldown and refunds 10 to 20 fury. So depending how much fury we are out or in will depend on if we need that a lot. So that's the way I'm going to go, is into here, because I do want those abilities back. Elysian Decree was great. Last Resort was great. Feed the Demons will be phenomenal. And right now, so if I put up a Demon Spike currently, lasts for 7 seconds, and the cooldown on it is 12. But if I can reduce that every time I take, I do damage with that, or consume soul fragments, I mean, you will reduce that drastically. So every soul fragment takes 0.25 off. Every time you soul cleave, you'll take 1.25 seconds off. Or not soul cleave, but Spirit Bomb with max. Or you could soul cleave with max too, it doesn't matter. So that is kind of what it's going to be for now. It looks very good, very, very fun. I can show you a little bit of gameplay in this. I'll just port to, I don't know, somewhere. Easiest place to get some enemies would be, let's say, Bastion. I think that puts you in the bottom area, which should be great. Because, if I remember, over here should be a bunch of enemies, or is it over here? One of the two. We'll just fly up this way. And this will really give a good little showcase on what the Demon Hunter can do. Although I don't have meters, so I don't know, what damage I'm actually doing, but this should be able to pull quite a bit here.
It is too far away. I'm out of range.
You can see we're just gathering enemies, and now we're going to get into it. So we're going to do the hunt. Immolation Aura, we're taking less damage. We're feared, that's fine. And then we're going to Spirit Bomb. Back to an Immolation Aura. Stuff has died already. So it's not a great representation. We're just doing too much. You don't have enough health. You can see it's a much quicker tick than it used to be. Like, it used to last for like 20 seconds. Currently, in Season 4, I think it lasts for something like 20 seconds or 25 seconds or something crazy long. But it does that a lot. Single target, you'll Soul Cleave. Multi-target, you'll Spirit Bomb. It gives no benefit, I don't think, to single target Spirit Bomb anymore, which is nice because you can add that Frailty with Soul Cleave. So it seems like this will be a ton of fun. Hoping that's tuned well so we do a bunch of damage. Trying to pull enough to make it worthwhile, but everything dies so quick. So really, once you hit Immolation Aura, everything starts to die too quick already. And then I'll get one Spirit Bomb off and one Fell Dev, and it's pretty much all dead. Now I am still using boon right now, so that's the reason mine auto resets sometimes. I do still have the current gear on, which is not going to be a representation of what it will be like, for the sole fact that, you know, you won't get that auto refresh some of the time. But having access to, you know, the hunt to do some damage is great. It's ticking away. Having access to darkness is going to be great. I don't have the 2-minute one on. Oh, sorry, it'll be 3 minutes. It'll be 3 minutes instead of 5 minutes, which is still good. 3-minute cooldown on darkness, which summons darkness around you and gives friendly targets 10% chance to avoid all damage coming from attacks. As you can see, the gameplay is going to be great. I can't wait till I can change my UI a bit. This is not my perfect UI, but that'll be soon enough. But you can see the gameplay with the spirit bombs is going to do very well. Pure bomb fell dev, it's just going to be a whole lot of fun. So, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe, deflect, firm but fair gaming. We'll see you in the next video.